Hello everyone, welcome to the Reaper Podcast. I am your host, of course, as always, John Reaper. Let's get that out of the way. How are you guys doing? I am doing great. It is a fabulous Tuesday. Sorry guys that I did not pop in last week. Last week I wanted to get a video out. I didn't want to really do a podcast. I want to get it a different little shake here and there. But I did pretty good, you know. There's stuff I want to go over, and it is so awesome. I want to go over the E3 stuff. I want to go over everything that's been going on, especially the hands-on E3 demo that everyone went to and everything. Also, what's been going on with me. Yeah. So, without further delay, let's not delay this anymore. Let's go ahead and do this. Now, I want to go over the E3. When I made a prediction about Sony, Sony with the Vita, there is like a mixed reports that I'm getting. It was funny because after I made the claim that the Switch idea or whatever, they're going to come out with that console probably at this E3 or maybe in the future. But it's kind of like, it's a strong maybe for that. The next day after I released that video, because I released it Tuesday, Wednesday, the next day, what happens? Vita... they decide to do the thing where they're canceling out the Vita, the games or whatever, physical games or whatever. I thought they canceled out the console, but the console's still selling. You know, pretty much any physical copies they're canceling out. One report is saying all of them. One report is saying the U.S., Europe. The other report is saying that, you know, the U.S. and Europe are canceling out, and Japan, I guess that would be in that port. Japan is still going to rock it. So, you know, look, here's my opinion on the Vita. I have the home console Vita. I love it. Okay, I played the Final Fantasy series. I want to get the Metal Gear series before that skyrockets to where you cannot buy it now, or it costs an arm and a leg to buy it. I want to get the Metal Gear 2, Metal Gear 3 for it, and I think you get Portable Ops as well. Or not Portable Ops, but Peace Walker. I think you get that for a download. I do believe. Vita is such a wonderful thing, but okay, everybody has praised the Vita. Vita is good. I like it. But I think they missed the opportunity with it. They were playing too much around with the PSP. The PSP came out in the PS2 era, I do believe. Yes. And, well, it was like either midway or towards the end of the PS2 era. No, it had to be like in the midway because, you know, Metal Gear Solid 3 was about to come out or did come out. And then I don't know. But anyway, the PSP is phenomenal, and I loved it. You know, I saved up. I've got the first generation, because, like, I went and paid on it. Like, every time I get an allowance for doing chores or whatever, I would go in there, and I would, boom, every week until I paid it off and got it. When I got it, I was like just holding the box. I did not open it. I was just holding the box. And I looked at it and going, oh my God, this is it. You know, because I was used to Game Boy Advanced and all that, where they just suck. You know, I had the regular Game Boy, which I cannot find it now. I don't know where it went. I had the regular Game Boy, the original Game Boy. I had that. I went from that to, I do believe it was the Game Boy Advanced. where it was like, and dude, I bought like all kinds of crap for it. I bought like, screen that, it lights up the screen, batteries for that, and, batteries for speakers or for this, for extra button. I bought like the accessories, The only games I had for it was a Game Boy Color game, which is like a Dragon Ball Z game, Dragon Ball Legacy of Goku, and then I think I had Legacy of Goku 2. And I had others. I had Yoshi's like Tetris thing, and then I had another game. I can't remember what it was, but I loved it. I loved it so much that, it was just sucking the life out of batteries, dude. It was just like batteries. And of course, I got to where like I couldn't afford batteries, so much because I would use it all the time. But once I got the PSP, you could charge it. You could buy an extra battery. You could charge it and you could swap out the battery. I was very grateful for that. I loved it, and especially when Metal Gear Acid came out. Oh my! I played the crap out of it. And movies, you can play movies on it, and I loved it. I loved it so much. It was just awesome. I loved it. Like you could do so much to it. Like they kept upgrading the software, and it was awesome, and I loved it. I keep saying that a lot, but in all honesty, I bought like so many games for it, and then that went, bye. They came out with a newer version, and I was like, oh, I want that version, but I don't have enough money. I'll just stick with my version, And then I think there were like 2 other versions that came out. I know there was one version of the PSP where it was weird. Okay, it was like they were trying to make it into a phone, because it was just a screen. It looked like a touch. It looked like your regular touch phones, and then you slid it up like one of those slider phones, for the keypad. You slid it up, and then of course there was buttons and joysticks, or a joystick and everything else. And then, like, if you want to watch a movie or whatever, you could just slide that back down and watch a movie or a video or listen to music or whatever the situation was. Now, the thing is, when they came out with that, I was like, I wanted to get it, but then I was like, wait a minute, I can't play my games because it was a digital only console, which I'm like, oh, okay, so you can't buy physical copies and play, you gotta digitally download. I do have problems with digital downloads, okay? My problem is, I understand it frees a lot of space up in your home, because you don't have physical copies, you don't have cases, and you don't worry about scratching and all that. I do have a problem with digital because, like, what if your console gets messed up and you have to send it to get service and bring it back? You don't know your password or whatever. Or, you have to buy a different console and you make that your primary console or make that or whatever. And it's like crap. Because that's what I had to do. My PS3, like, that was like my primary console. And like, I couldn't take it off because my original PlayStation 3 was so like damaged. Like I kept sending it back and forth. I probably could, if I gather up enough money, I could probably send it back and then probably hook it up and then take that off, but it kind of defeats the purpose of me having a Slim, but it's just stuff digitally I don't agree with. I mean, I know people like to have physical copies, but the thing is, physical copies do deteriorate. Digital does too, certain stuff happens. Digital it kind of just like, but I don't know. I'm like on the fence, I guess. Like I see the point of digital. It's like, okay, it's beneficial to your environment. It's beneficial to, there's no scratching. But I don't know. Just to me, it's just weird. And plus, it uses up a bunch of space on your console or your memory. So it's like, oh, you don't have a game, or you have room for another game, or you don't have room for the save a game, and it's like, oh, okay, I have to delete this game, I don't know, I just have multiple problems with that, but yeah, the PS Vita I've had, and it was wonderful. I got the extra edition where you can actually call and hook up to a cell phone service, which was okay. Let me tell you this: that is genius, but that is also not ideal. The reason why I say not ideal is because you have people paying for internet, you have people paying for the PlayStation Online, which I do need to get probably soon. I don't know when mine runs out. Then you have people that buy cell phones. You have people that buy, you have people that have bills everywhere. And then now, just to game on a portable console online or watch videos, you have to pay. I think that's one of the downfalls of Vita, is that it comes with Wi-Fi, but then the Wi-Fi you have to pay. And people are like, I could just wait until I get home to use the online feature for it, or, if I wanted to watch videos or whatever, I could just watch videos on my phone, or get on it, I can get on it on my phone. So I don't think a lot of people use that, and I think that's one of the downfalls of Vita. The other downfalls is making the back a touch. I do not agree with that. What was it, when you remote play on a Vita, the back, I don't like the back. Like in the back, touch becomes, and you gotta make sure you map out your hands. If you don't map out your hands, you hit the button, you're hitting the wrong button, and it's like, so, or like it's like when you're playing, and then it's got a switch, and you gotta move your hands in a certain way to touch, and then you move back, and I don't know. It's just, it's weird to me. It is so weird that happens. I think it should be more buttons. I think there should be 2 buttons on top, like regular. I mean, there's not that much room. I understand that, but you can actually make room for the 2 buttons. I don't know. The touchscreen was fine. The back touch thing I don't like. The way they utilize the camera, like there has to be, I mean, a portable console should not be like, oh, you have to have a light, and that's like, oh, okay, I gotta carry a flashlight with me if there's no sunlight, so I gotta shine it, and it's weird. It's weird how they do different stuff. And like, I don't know. The Vita I think it should have been developed towards the end cycle of the PS3 era. That's me, or the PS3 era. It should have been thought of back then, because then everybody be like, oh my god, it's so awesome, it's so innovative, and it would have lead into the PS4 tech, the touch and the stuff like that. I think, and not a lot of people are using the Vita, I think, because people can get their cell phones, okay, and put emulators on their phones. If people can rip off the hardware from the PSP or the Vita and put it on their phone, if their phone is capable enough, they can run that system. Now, the the Vita runs in the era between PS2, or in between PS2 and PS3. It's not as good as PS3 graphics, but it's like in the middle between them. It's not quite there. So that is behind a little bit. From what I've seen on the Switch, they should have, that was pretty awesome. And, Young Ia actually did a interview with like Sony's like in 2017 last year. Oh, we're not thinking of any successors after. Come on, really? Okay, what if this is not a successor? What if this is actually, something new? You're still gonna have the Vita, but you're gonna put this out. I mean, it would make sense. It would make so much sense to have a Vita or a Switch thing. What if they come out to Switch and then like, okay, bye Vita. You gotta think in the realm of, Nintendo is killing it with the Switch, and they are just killing it. I think I've said it, in the E3 thing or whatever. They're killing it. It would make so much sense for them to come out with that. And a lot of people hate that. They're like, oh my god, Sony's gonna come out with this Switch looking thing, and they're just copying. So what? They came out with the Move. Okay, do you not understand that? The Move idea, the Nintendo Chuck and Nunchuck and all that, the Nintendo Wii remote, that was their idea. That was Nintendo's idea, and Sony decided we're gonna make one like that, except we're gonna make it better. Come on, the Move controllers. You have the Move controller with the ball. That's the main one. And then you have like a nunchuck thing. It literally looks like a nunchuck. You pick it up and it's like, okay, you can move with this and you could do other stuff. It's the same concept, except they made it better. They made it to where you don't connect the controllers together. You can connect the controllers via Bluetooth, to the console directly. And it's a lot better performance, a lot of better tracking. And they killed it, which is why the Nintendo Wii and the Wii U just sunk. Because the Wii U tried to keep their formula of the nunchuck, just like the Move. And of course, they saw the inactivity with the PSP, they're like, oh, we can do something like that. And I do believe you can do... No, that was like the PS4, where you can do stuff with your phone. I think they were trying to come out with that, I do believe. But the Wii U came out and they're like, they were trying to do that. And then from reports, it sucked and it failed so bad. Well, I still want the Wii U, it sucks that you see that. Then when they went on and did their own thing, which is a Switch, it's like they got out of that and then went to the Switch console. And before that was released, Sony filed a patent for their Switch lookalike. And if they do release it, it'll be so much better, you guys. You guys don't understand. It will. Because Sony, it's probably in the testing phase right now. They're going to test it and test it and test it and test it and test it. So it's one of those things that, just wait. Sony's going to make this. They're going to make it right. Just wait. Yeah. Whew. Okay, let's get off of that. But I do believe something is about to happen. If it happens this E3, good. If it don't happen this E3, okay, we'll see in the near future what Sony's going to do. Moving on to, what did I say I was going to talk about? Kingdom Hearts. The Square Enix event for Kingdom Hearts 3 was magnificent. I didn't believe, okay, usually somebody does something like that. I think Konami did the same thing with Metal Gear, except you weren't allowed. Like, you were still under embargo, I think, until it was released. Like, you could not record or take pictures or anything. But they gave an embargo for these guys. And only 24 hours. Or it was like a 2-day thing, or it was like a 24-hour embargo. I did see somebody violate the embargo. I did see that, where it was like you had to wait until the next day, and I saw images, and I like screwed. I screwed. Boom. You know, I didn't want to see it, but I just saw Wreck-It Ralph, and I was like, crap. And you know, I was like, man, Wreck-It Ralph's going to be in it. I saw it already. And I was like, no, because I wanted to wait. You know, I wanted to wait to see, you know, Wreck-It Ralph. That didn't happen, so you got, you know, I got information. I've watched a lot of stuff on it. My God. I cannot wait. But from the report saying that the Toy Story world is only 30% done, you know, it's amazing. And not to mention, with that given time, I do believe it's going to be released at the end of 2018, not in the middle. I mean, they might surprise us and be on the third quarter of the year, you know. But we're in May, going to be in June. You know, you have July, August, September. If they crunch down, after E3, if they crunch down, you know, I think, I mean, what was it? What's the D23? Is that November? I think that's either November or December. I cannot remember when D23 is. Let me look it up real quick. But I do believe it might come either before that or after that. It's something that I wish, like, I wish it was like out, like, you know, D23. Sorry, I'm just looking up. No, not that. No, not that at all. Why are you doing this to me? It's making me do stuff. Okay. Let's get the date, shall we? Because usually D23 has like Kingdom Hearts stuff. Saying the dates are here. They're saying 2019. Why are they saying that and not? Weird. Oh, because it's not going to be in Japan in 2000. That's why it's kind of like a big deal. I mean, are they going to have one this year? I hope they are, but. Huh. But apparently in 2019, they're going to be in Anaheim instead of. And it's going to be August 23rd to 25th. I could have sworn D23 was in. I don't know. I can't see the dates. They keep saying something about 2019. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on E3. Usually, I mean, they said the announcement on the release date is probably going to be E3. Kind of hope, that way I can. Because, dude, I pre ordered this like a long time ago. It's been 4 or 5 years, maybe, I pre ordered that when I pre ordered Kingdom Hearts 2.8. So I cannot wait, dude. I've seen it, and it looks so beautiful, and like I want to get my hands on the story and lore of Kingdom Hearts like forever. Like I know I've been playing like the other ones and stuff, but still, I want to explore. I want to see stuff, and there's so much you can explore in this. I really hope they expand Traverse Town. Oh my god. Wow, I mean, Traverse Town is like awesome in my opinion, and I hope they expand on it. I hope this thing has like beautiful world that you could just run around in. Same goes for like the Disney Castle. I wish we could go there, dude. Just places like I'm visiting. You can visit in Kingdom Hearts 2 where it's big, and Kingdom Hearts 1. And it's like you can just imagine them being huge, and cannot wait. I mean, like the Hercules one, you can't not hardly go anywhere in the Hercules one except for 2. 2 you could go out through, the other world, but oh wow, it's just wow. I want it so much. I want it. I got it pre-ordered, so I mean that's the cool thing is And then the thing is, I used the gift card option because I had the gift cards, and like I used it so it doesn't cost me any money. I've already pre-ordered it, and money's coming out of that. So, what was after the Kingdom Hearts thing? Oh, and I heard the voice acting. Voice acting is so beautiful, so spot on. But what was after the Kingdom Hearts? There was something that was after Kingdom Hearts I was going to talk to you guys about. And I totally forgot. Oh, I'm a bad host. I forgot what it was. I'll watch I'll be like, oh, that's what it was. But, I cannot wait for E3. E3 is going to have... okay, now I remember what it was, but E3 is gonna have the 3 people, Visions or NL Visions or whatever. I cannot pronounce that name right. I'll just call them Visions. Mag Gamer and my new acquired friend, Phantom Tommy or whatever. His name's Tommy. I know it's Phantom something. But awesome dude. Funny guy. Like everything he said, when he was talking, like I just busted out like laughing because he is Phantom King V, which his name is Tommy. So awesome. I cannot wait. We were all talking, and he might do something that's like live, do like a live thing, and I cannot wait to see that or to see something coming from that. Especially from Visions and Mag. Also, what's weird is, yes, I had a birthday last week. I didn't tell you guys. I didn't say anything because, I don't know. I'm just humble that way, I guess. I don't want people to be like, oh my god, your birthday, and get like 1,000 people saying that. But the one thing is, Konami actually did follow me. The official Konami Twitter And I saw that, and like I was like asking people, and I was like, I asked the people I talked to, like, what do I do? What do I do? Do I say something? And finally, they're like, well, go ahead and say something. It's like, it's cool. He'll like it. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I was like, oh, thank you so much, and they liked it. And then, of course, it's so awesome that, you know, I think they see that, because they have so much people talking so much dirt to them and all that, and to see people that love their brand still and love their games and not talk any dirt and praise their games and praise, I think they like that, which it's cool, and I love how they treat the community, they treat the fans, they're I think Metal Gear Survive, to be honest, is actually fan service, because how many people complained and complained that Metal Gear Solid The Phantom Pain does not have co-op. And I've read and I've seen comments where they've asked Konami and say, hey, can you guys make it a co-op where one of us could play as Quiet and the other one could play as Snake? And of course, they actually told him you can't, because I think it'd throw off the balance of the game. It would throw everything off. And they have it's a co-op game basically, with the single player element, but it's a co-op game and it's fan service. The fans asked for a co-op game and they gave it a co-op game. And then they totally trash it, which is just, it's so unbelievable that people would trash something that they asked for. Yeah, it wasn't the Phantom Pain, but it's got Phantom Pain settings, I know it's not guards or anything, but you got zombies, it's cool. But like I've said before, time and time again, and I will say it again, I'm for Kojima and I'm for Konami. Them two people, are the best. Everybody was going, without Kojima, there wouldn't be Metal Gear. Okay, point taken. But if Konami did not have the company they did, would Kojima even create the games he did? Other than Metal Gear. Police Knots, Snatcher, and Zone of the Enders. I don't know if there's others, but yeah, it's the main ones. Would he have invented those? If he was introduced to Metal Gear, would he have created Zone of the Enders? You gotta really think about that. You gotta think, and if Konami, because the story is what happened to Metal Gear is Konami got Kojima to look at this. It looked like a Call of Duty war game, and Kojima looked at it and was like, I don't want it to be like any other game. Let's make it a different game, and changed it completely. And that's how Kojima is. So if Konami did not put Kojima on that game, or had that game at all, and had that mindset given to Kojima, then Metal Gear would never been born. Never been born. And I don't think Zone of the Enders would have been. Because Police Knots, I keep calling it Psychonauts. Police Knots had had like suits, yes, but they weren't like Gundam or anything like that, or like Metal Gear. Snatcher, I don't think it had anything like that. But when he had the mindset and created Metal Gear, and I think he took Zone of the Enders, was like, I can create Zone of the Enders as well. Like what if the good guy uses a big giant mech, and fights other mechs, like Gundam. I don't know. Who knows what would have happened, but really, to be honest, when it comes to Metal Gear, Konami, or Metal Gear wouldn't exist if Kojima wasn't there. Metal Gear wouldn't exist if Konami did not have Kojima on that project and whatnot. You know, you have to think about it that way. I praise everything Konami has done because in a fashion of business, I can look at stuff in a business way and go, you know what, in a business way, they're doing it the right way, you know. By not re-releasing the series on the next generation, you know, and they're probably waiting a while. They're waiting for all this stuff to die down, this fake stuff, you know. And because if you think about it, would the fans actually be happy if they would they receive positive feedback or would they receive negative feedback? I could see them receiving negative feedback going, oh, you just released it because Kojima left. No, it's not the reason. You guys asked for it, we delivered. You know, you have to look at it that way. Now, the thing is, you know, people just don't get it, you know. They're like, well, what about Survive? Survive is fan service, I do believe, along with more stuff in recreative, you know, thinking and all that. It's fine. I like it. I really like the game, you know. I mean, like, they didn't show gameplay, and then when they showed gameplay, I'm like, all right, this is cool. Because I thought it was going to, like, be, like, totally different, you know. And I was kind of, like, leery. I'm like, I don't know, man. I've done that with Rising where, I mean, Rising was good. But I hate, like, changing how I play, you know. It's like, and then when I saw it didn't really change that much. It's the same stuff. And it's like, okay, cool. Yeah, you know, I want to play it. The story was badass. It was awesome. I loved it. You know, Konami does a great job with their games, especially Bomberman. I want to get Bomberman. I want to buy. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I want to buy a Switch. You know, for Mario, for all that stuff, and for Bomberman. But I do believe if Sony, I want, to be honest, I want Sony to say something about the Switch version of, you know, of what they're gonna do, because I want them to be like, oh, we're gonna do this. It's like, okay, I'm not gonna buy a Switch, I'm gonna buy that. You know, it's amazing what Konami does and puts up with. And yes, I do believe that every bad news media that was out there against Konami, I think that was all fake. Because when Kojima came out and said, hey, I want to thank Konami and thank them for letting me do whatever they want to do. After that, like, everything bad about Konami just stopped. You know, it was, like, amazing because I think it's just people that were fanboys for Kojima. They were, like, typing all these stories. They were like, you know. And I think they were doing that to damage Konami's reputation. For whatever reason or purpose, I do not understand, nor do I wish to know. But in the end, I think it worked itself. I think Kojima saw what was happening, and he's like, okay, I gotta put a stop to this. I gotta say something. I gotta do something. And then when he did that, he saved Konami, and I think Konami was like very, very grateful. Konami was like, oh, thank you so much. Thank you, you know. Konami is not an evil corporation whatsoever, because if they were truly all evil, they would have not, like, send me stuff to give away to you guys. Hello, you know, I barely have any subscribers to Twitch or YouTube. I mean, I have 132, and I have 1,000 something followers on Twitter, yes, but I'm considered a very, you know, I'm very low, you know, I'm a low at the totem pole, I'm not high up. But then when they give me stuff to, you know, give a free giveaway to people, it's amazing. And then to follow me, you know, that's even more amazing. And I love it, you know, because it's like, okay, they do care about the fans, they do care about the people. Why don't people think that? Why don't people see that? You know, Konami is for the people as well. You know, you have to be a company for the people if you want people to buy your product. Konami didn't do nothing wrong. You know, there was multiple stories out. You know, the voice actors and stuff that did not know Kojima personally, did not know him at all personally, did not work with him personally. From the, you know, they met him, but they didn't work with him personally. I don't know how many times I watch an interview with like a voice actor or with a songstress, and you know they're asked, "Did you work with Kojima personally?" And they're like, "No, I never met Kojima in the studio." You know, it's usually his assistant or somebody or a director, you know, an audio director or something like that. And it kind of gets your mind wondering, all these voice actors and all these like people that did not know Kojima that close is saying he got fired. But then Konami is doing reports going he's on a long time vacation. And also, Kojima said he is no longer at the company. He left it. So, I mean, there's 3 stories right there, you know, which I do believe it's like a hidden little message, you know. One message telling everybody, hey, you know, for people who don't know who me personally, you know, which, I mean, could Kojima have went on a long-term vacation, meaning he's not working there, but he's working in his studio that he made, and that he could eventually go back to Konami or come back to Konami. Who knows? Okay? You guys have to really think about that and ask yourself the questions of why is there 3 different stories being told? You know, there's either a truth among those, or all 3 are true, or none. You know, it's something that, you know, for people that don't know him personally, you know. And have you noticed, I don't believe I've seen any more of the hashtags either. The stupid little, I mean, I've seen them from fans, but from other people, I don't see any of them, you know. So it's something that you have to really think. But I do want to say thank you to Phantom King V, Mac Gamer, and Envisions, or NL Visions. I don't know how to pronounce it. But thank you guys so much for, you know, always being there and being awesome. I do want to thank HMK and the Gamers Joint. Those guys are pretty awesome. I do want to thank. I want to thank them for keeping with the embargo and not really like showing stuff and just waiting. You know, I know it was probably like they were like, oh my god, I gotta release this to the people. It's like, no, I can't. You know, they were pretty much quiet, you know, except for like, oh, this is awesome or whatever. They were pretty much quiet, and I really thank them for doing that. If Konami would do that to me, you know, if you guys come up with a game, Metal Gear related, Zone of the Enders related, something like that, hey, call upon me, man. I'll rush up there and play a game and do that, and I'll buy the embargo, dude. I'm the embargo person. I'll do it, you know. I'll be like, I'll sign my lips away, you know. Because I mean, it would suck because then I'd be like, oh my god, I want to say something, but I can't, you know. But I know it can't last forever, so, you know, hey, Konami, if you're listening, hey, bro. You know, send me an invite. I'll go to, I don't know if they still have in LA. I'll go to LA. I'll go somewhere. I'll go Japan somewhere. I'll go somewhere to play the game. Whatever if you want me in there to play it, I will go play it. Don't worry. I still gotta pre-order Zone of the Enders, which I'll do that later because it's coming out in September. So and that gives me enough time. I still need to pre-order Death Stranding. I want to, but then I'm too afraid. I'm afraid I'm gonna pre-order it and then they'll be like, oh, I think it's off the market now. I think it's unavailable, so I can't pre-order it anyway. But I don't know. And just different stuff that I gotta do. I'm like, oh, there's games coming out, But I really, really thank you guys. I would not be here if it wasn't for all of you guys that watch my videos, that follow me on Twitter, that interact with me. I would not be here. And I really want to thank you at the bottom of my heart. And it's so awesome. I hope I can expand and do more stuff. To be honest, I hope I can hit that mark and I can go beyond and I can just be like, okay, I could do this full time, and have money. But it really stinks to do it, As of right now, I can't. If I didn't have a family, I don't know if I would still, but I don't know. It's just stuff I've been thinking about. But stuff has been happening personally in my life. It's been so awesome. Just a lot of stuff changing, and it's changing for the good. I'm so happy. Especially my wife. So happy for her, but it's personal stuff, so I'm not really gonna talk about it. But it's really, really happy. It's happy changes, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I'm so happy. I think that's why I'm like scatterbrained, is because I'm just happy and just like in awe, for stuff that's changing. And I think it will help me to. I do need to cut down on, because with YouTube's like content thing, I do need to cut down on what I need to do. Especially me being professional, I need to cut down on a lot of the cussing. Because I've said it before that I need to work on it because of YouTube's. I barely even cussed in the podcast, so I'm pretty proud of myself. Because at the end of the day, do we want our kids to hear this like real early, cussing and stuff like that, or do we want our kids to be proper? A lot of people out there are like, no, cuss, it's fine. I don't want to hear non-cussing or bleeping out or whatever. It's so boring. I understand that. I really do. But, your life will change if you had a kid and then you're like, no cussing and stuff like that. It stinks because it's everywhere. Cussing, violence, and everything is everywhere. You have to teach. That's all you gotta do. You gotta teach people. You can't be violent. You can't be, I don't know what that kid was going through in Texas. And that makes me sad. That this person, this kid, the 17-year-old kid, had to walk into school and do that. I don't know what made him. I don't know if he was bullied or what. But there's going to be coming a time where we need to think about the kids. We need to think about how we interpret ourselves as entertainers to kids. Are we, we think it's funny, but as entertainers, do we want our kids to grow up hearing filth, hearing this stuff, and, not getting explained? Because there's kids all over the world that watch YouTubers, that watch violent movies, and play violent video games, and horror movies, and not get told by their parents that it's just fake, it's just pretend. You cannot do that in real life. You do that in real life, you kill them, they won't come back, you won't come back, or you get arrested and you won't live a free life. You gotta teach your kids that. Constantly teach them. Because if you don't, they might lose out of touch. And it might not be the situation of shooters that go into school. But you gotta remember, they're not adults. They're kids. They are kids. First and foremost, they are kids. And we have to shape their minds to become better. I had good parents when I was growing up. They taught me right from wrong. I mean, when I was 3, my mom had me up watching horror movies at night. The only movie that scared me was Arachnophobia, because spiders are real and they have a mind of their own, It's like, well, so what? Night of the Living Dead and Friday the 13th and all that. They didn't scare me one bit, because I had a father that, protected us, that said, ain't nobody gonna come in his house. Get him before that happens. And stuff like Michael Myers and Jason doesn't even exist. Zombies don't even exist. It's fantasy. All of it is fake costume Hollywood. And that's what my mom and dad told me from early on, until where it's like, okay, it's fake. I can go watch a horror movie and not get scared. I can go play, games. The games scare me because, that's how I've always been. But we got to teach our kids. We got to think about them first before we think ourselves. So, guys, it's been an awesome podcast. And make sure you go to my Twitter. If you want to hit the subscribe button to be updated, that way you can hear the podcast. Hit the notification, that way you're not going to miss anything. I do want to thank Konami. Konami, you guys are awesome. Thank you for following me. I'm going to do better to promoting the games. I'm starting from 0 to 1 on Silent Hill and Metal Gear. That's it. I might redo Zone of the Enders 2, Mars. When I get it, I might do the VR as well. Sweet. Thank you guys so much. And I will see you guys next week, Tuesday at 5 p.m. I'm thinking about splitting too. I'm thinking about doing that and the evening show Friday. Kind of like a little sign off for the weekend for you guys. I'm just thinking about it, so bear with me on that. And I will see you guys next week for another podcast. Stay tuned for more information, more everything. And I will see you guys next week. See ya.